The definition of talk show is a television or radio show in which various topics are discussed informally and listeners, viewers, or the studio audience are invited to participate in the discussion. The origins of talk shows can be drawn back to 16th century Italy with a discussion group for intellectuals called Academy. There is also the Salon of 17th century France, which was a semi-formal occasion organized by a hostess, normally once a week, where ladies and men of letters came together with the intent to discuss various topics. Last and most commonly tied to the talk show are the coffee houses of 18th century England. In the coffee houses, people would gather and discuss the latest gossip and politics. There was a sense of community and participation by all. Most importantly, these meetings were sacred and intentionally centralized around the discussion at hand. Talk shows first began over the radio.
Yeah, this is her.
Hey, Naomi, how are you? This is Jubal from the radio show Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
The first one started in the early 1920s, and it is not confirmed which talk show came first, but it was most likely a farming broadcast. Radio talk shows were most popular from the 1920s to the 50s. Other notable radio talk shows include Fireside Chats by Franklin D. Roosevelt.
The President of the United States.
My friends, I want to talk for a few minutes with the people of the United States about banking.
Their original purpose was to garner American support for Roosevelt's New Deal policies, but they eventually became a source of hope and security for all Americans.
From NBC News in Washington, the longest-running show in television history, this is a special edition of Meet the Press with Chuck Todd.
Meet the Press is a talk show that still persists today. It was started in 1945, and it originally aired over the radio, and then 2 years later it switched to television. There are three main types of TV talk shows. These are morning, afternoon, and late night. The morning talk show format was the first of the three. Morning talk shows tend to be more news-oriented and family-friendly. Afternoon talk shows are typically geared towards housewives, and they put a little bit more 13 into the PG. Late-night talk shows are geared towards parents together after their kids have gone to bed. Generally, they aren't family-friendly and they include elements of comedy. The Today Show invented the morning talk show format. It started in 1951 and it continues today. The afternoon and late-night formats came later and they were popularized by their hosts.
You get a car! You get a car! You get a car! You get a car!
Oprah Winfrey changed the game by targeting the housewife demographic. She made her show for women in the daytime, and many other shows followed with the same intention, such as The View and The Ellen DeGeneres Show. She was open and honest with her viewers so they felt connected to her. She revealed personal information, such as the details of the abuse she endured and her opinions on the LGBTQ community. She even went so far as to debate her live audience one-on-one.
The God I serve doesn't care whether you're tall or short, or whether you were born black or Asian or gay.
The most popular late-night talk show is The Tonight Show. It has had 6 hosts throughout the years. In order, they include Steve Allen, Jack Paar, Johnny Carson, Jay Leno, Conan O'Brien, and Jimmy Fallon. The Tonight Show began in 1954 and continues today. Talk shows are a host-driven medium, and their hosts have significant social impact. This is because they can speak candidly, so often their audience comes to trust, respect, and feel connected to them. Since the audience feels connected to the hosts of these talk shows, their opinions are often swayed by the statements that the hosts make. This gives talk shows and their hosts a lot of social and political power. Since talk shows are opinion-based and often include rumors, tabloids, and cheap entertainment, they are sometimes considered trashy. However, this isn't the case for all talk shows. The Today Show is a great example of a clean, informative, and often educational talk show. In recent years, talk shows have come full circle as podcasts gained popularity. Podcasts are often similar to radio talk shows in that they are first and foremost meant to be listened to. However, some include visuals of the host as they speak to the audience. The difference between visual podcasts and television talk shows is that the visuals in podcasts are optional and not necessary to understand what is going on. Talk shows have evolved from in-person to the radio to television to podcasts. While they come in so many forms, we still practice every form of talk show and its origins. They are so ingrained into our society that we don't even consider how often we watch talk shows and how much we idolize the hosts.